Hi, I'm out of the etrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the Gustafson textured dinette ceiling fixture. Now this is going to be a great option for you if you're looking for something that has more of a rustic touch to it. So let's take a closer look at it. So we have a ton of different light fixtures here on our website, but what stands out about this one is going to be its design. So it is a textured one because of this wood finish we have on one of these bars. So this is going to be more of a lighter color, so if you have more lighter colored furniture, will work nicely here. Especially with it also having this black section here. It's also going to have a slight texture to it, a little bit more rougher. So I think if you have a more rustic design inside of your RV, great there. That same pattern is going to be also replicated right above the light itself and going to where it mounts to your ceiling. Now with this being a larger one, it might be a little bit heavier, but it's not going to be too heavy where it's going to damage your ceiling. And then the light we're getting out of here is going to be a little bit more of a warmer light. It's not the warmest light that I've had in here so far, but it definitely does feel kind of homey still. Since it does have this kind of neat design to it, it is going to make it a little bit bigger. So for the total height this is going to be about 13 inches. So just make sure when you're getting up or kind of walking around here, you don't hit your head on here. And then for the length from the wooded section, that's going to be about 14 inches. So that's a little bit wider, but we do have a lot of open space in between those gaps. Now when it comes to using this, these gaps are going to be a little bit helpful because if you ever just want to turn off the light, I can do that real quick. And you can notice a big difference with how much light we are getting from this. This is going to be perfect for when you're sitting down with your family, you want to enjoy a meal or play a game, like a card game. You're going to have plenty of light to do that. And I almost forgot to mention, what's neat about this too is this is going to be connected to the rest of your light. So when you turn this off, this will turn off with it. Of course, if you want to turn this one off by itself, again, it does have that button to do that. Now, when it comes to other options out there, this one I think is probably one of the best ones when it comes to, again, that more rustic look. And if you don't mind this being a little bit larger, I think it'll be perfect for you. Now when it comes to actually installing it, it's really not too bad. It's just going to be a couple of screws that go into place. And when you are connecting your wires so you can get electric to this, make sure that electric is initially shut off so we don't hurt ourselves. So first we want to start off by taking off our old light fixture. So in our case today, it's kind of hard to reach. So I'm just going to grab a smaller ratchet with a bit on the very end of it and remove it this way. I'd recommend also keeping the hardware to this because the kit we have today doesn't come with any hardware, so you're probably going to have to reuse this. If this hardware is damaged, I'd recommend just picking some extra up so you can install your light fixture. Really just 2 screws for most of them. We're going to have these wire nuts that are already on here. Sometimes these aren't going to be on there, so we're lucky enough that we can reuse this. If you don't have any on here currently, then you can pick some up. Now, sometimes you'll have this type of style. This is going to be something you'll have to cut off or break off, and those aren't recommended to reuse. So if you have the wire nuts, you'll be good to go. Our original light did have 2 bulbs on it, so we had an extra wire in the equation. All I did was just cap this off with a wire nut and some electric tape, so we should be good to go. Now we can put our new light fixture up there. You're going to have 2 ways of doing it. The first way is going to look a little bit nicer. In some cases it is easier. So we're going to have this bracket, and this is going to go into your ceiling. And that's going to pass through with these bolts through the top of this fixture, and we're going to have a hand knob that secures this down. So that's really helpful because the holes for this do line up with this frame. Now in our case today, this is a little bit tight to actually get up in there. So what I'm going to do instead is the second way of doing this. And we can just use some screws. Put that through these openings we have at the bottom here. Just make sure your screws are going to be the right size to pass through here. And when I do that, I'm probably going to use a smaller ratchet with a bit there so I can actually get underneath here, because trying to use a screwdriver might be a little bit tricky. I'm just going to start by twisting these together. I'll say with this design of the frame of your light fixture, it does make it a little bit easier to twist these together compared to some other ones I've dealt with. But it will be easier if you have a friend to help you out with this process. So once I get one screw together, because we're going to have a ground and power, just make sure you get the right one connected to the correct one. Typically that's going to be white to white, black to black. Then we'll just cap it off with this nut. And once that's secured on there all the way, then you're going to repeat that process with our other wire. In our case, this is going to be the black one. Then we're going to turn our power back on, test it, bam, we got like. The reason why I recommend doing that now is because if we screw it into place, realize something's wrong, we'll have to take it back down. So now, we'll just stuff our wires in here. Make sure they're going to be in a position where they're not going to get in the way of our screws. We can stuff everything in here. And then, once that's feeling pretty good, then I'm going to grab one of my screws and secure this into place. And once you have it tightened down with both of your screws, that pretty much does it. Just make sure it looks good up there. And if you guys have any other questions, let us know here at eTrailer. And again, I'm Matt, and thanks for watching.